really helpful lens for the evangelist to use is something called the thresholds. Now, these first appeared in a book called I Once Was Lost, but they were popularized by Sherry Weddell in her book Forming Intentional Disciples. And the thresholds are essentially states of faith that someone could be at. And they're very helpful for us when we're trying to evangelize and make people into disciples, to be able to look at really where are they at now. Now, to go through the 5 thresholds in brief, the first threshold is called initial trust. Now, this can be somebody who is not going to church, is not particularly interested in faith, but they know a Christian who they see as a good person and they trust. That's the lowest threshold you can be at. The second threshold is called spiritual curiosity. Now, this is for somebody who is open to exploring different perspectives on reality than their own. So they're open to spiritual conversations. They're maybe not too sold on it. They wouldn't identify themselves as a Christian, but they're open to a conversation. The third threshold is spiritual openness. Now, this is somebody who has basically come to the place of accepting the reality of God. They're not fully sure what place God's going to have in their life, but they're believing that there is a God. The fourth threshold is spiritual seeking. Now, this is somebody who is past the point of acknowledging God. They're now taking their own initiative to learn more. They might be going to talks on theology. They might be searching YouTube for conversations, debates about the faith. But this is a person who wants to know more, is open to knowing more. This person may even sign up for RCIA because they want to really deeply consider becoming Catholic. And the fifth threshold, which is where we really want to get everybody to eventually, is intentional discipleship. This is somebody who's not just a Catholic on the census, but somebody who believes that Jesus is God, has committed themselves to being his follower, and wants to model their life after Christ. These are the people we can really put into leadership positions in our work in evangelization, because these are the people who want to model their life after Jesus. These are the people who intentionally have chosen to be a disciple. One of the great things about Sherry Weddell's thresholds is they help us gauge where somebody is at so that we can help them cross to the next level. So for example, if you know somebody who's only at spiritual openness, you're probably not going to ask them to share their personal testimony. Well, they don't have a story of how God has won in their life. They're just simply open to the possibility of God. But if someone's in openness, you want to find ways to move them to seeking. You want to help, through conversations and the questions you ask them, help them into the place where they're actually seeking on their own to go deeper into the topic of faith. And if you know somebody who's in seeking, well, you just want to help them make that final commitment to make God the Lord of their life. These thresholds really, I think, can have a huge impact on the way that we do ministry, because it changes our mentality from getting people to show up to getting people to really truly follow God in their life. And so they're a great lens for the evangelist to use.